I just finished with the biggest launch I've ever had in my business. And here's the thing. It wasn't because I grew by more email subscribers. It wasn't because I went viral. It wasn't because I paid for ads. It was because I showed up as the sold out coach before I even had one person enrolled in my free training. Today, I'm going to teach you this very secret framework that most coaches get completely wrong. So stay with me. Most of the coaches and creatives that come to me are operating from a have, do, be framework, which means they are waiting to have the big audience, to do the big launch, to be the successful business owner, right? And here's the problem with that. When we are waiting and putting everything on external circumstances, we're going to be waiting a really long time. The order is actually be, do, have. You be her first, you do next, and then you have everything that you ever desired. Once you see this, once you understand how to apply this in your life and business, I promise you cannot unsee it. I get so many people that ask me, Caitlin, like, what is your secret sauce? What has changed in your life and business? And it is simply applying this be, do, have principle. I'm going to be completely transparent with you because oftentimes social media only shows us the highlight reel, right? We see what we want to see. And if you're an aspiring business owner and you're looking at my Instagram, you might think, gosh, like she has her shit together. She just has like people coming in on demand. And let me tell you, even the most put together, have their shit together people, if you are not operating from this, it's really hard to get where you want to go. Literally just a few months ago. So at the time of this recording, I am finishing my launch and we are closing in on mid-April, okay? So the story I'm going to tell you is actually from the beginning of this year. Back in January, I decided I was going to start relaunching my group program at the time called Ascend. And even going into that launch, intuitively, I was like, I really want to make some changes. I am not like quite feeling this, but I really want to like get this launch done. I just want to do it. I want to check the box because I want to bring in that additional revenue, right? And so I kind of like jumped the gun a little bit. The other thing I did, which I knew the instant I did this, I was like, oh, Caitlin, I decided I was going to try an email-only waitlist launch. Now, there's nothing wrong with these kinds of launches, but when you're running a high-ticket program and you just don't have the mass amount of followers, like 10, 20, 50,000 followers, this is not the launch strategy I would suggest for you. And I knew that. But somehow I was like, okay, we're going to try to not do a launch webinar. We're not going to do everything that you know that works. And we're going to launch this email waitlist only. So I put all the things together and I want you to hear this very clearly, okay? So I was totally operating from like a have, do, be versus a be, do, have, okay? So I was like, okay, I'm going to wait until I have all of these things to open the doors and then I'm going to do X, Y, Z, do this email launch, and then I'm going to have this like really successful launch. And the problem is I was trying to model after this other coach who only does email launches, and that works wildly successful for her business. And here's the thing, you guys. I had 2 weeks where I was talking about this waitlist. I want you to guess how many people I had signed up. Go ahead, guess. If you guessed 0, you were 100% correct, which is really crazy considering literally 2 months later, I had a $36,000 launch, okay? That is the vast significance. I couldn't even get someone to sign up for a wait list versus like literally just having the most amount of people sign up for my program. And Nothing but everything changed, okay? What I mean by nothing changed is that I didn't have in the 2 months like a viral post that got me all these followers. I didn't run ads. I didn't all of a sudden have 1 million people on my email list, okay? What did change though was that I reversed that order. I said, oh my gosh, we're going to stop this. And I've never stopped a launch, okay? I've literally never stopped anything halfway through. That pains my soul because I'm like, do it to the finish line kind of girl. But I was like, this doesn't feel right. You are not in your energy. You are not speaking to who you really want to serve. So I stopped it. I literally stopped because guess what? I had no one signed up, okay? So that is the real truth. That is the real truth. And then I decided to regroup and I paused and I said, what do you really want to do here? How do you want to show up? How do you want to put together a program? And I completely restructured from a messaging perspective and from a visibility perspective, and things started to shift. Because here's the thing I know is that the version of me that's the sold out coach is showing up very visibly. She is doing some kind of interactive video launch. She is talking to you. She is connecting with you. She is not launching through email. That is not me. That doesn't feel like me. I want to be interacting with you. I want all of you in my visual lane. I want to be able to connect and hear what's going on in your business and troubleshoot in real time and be able to like have you hear my voice, see my hands moving, okay? You just can't do that through email. And I'm a huge fan of email marketing. If you've been on my list, you know I send a lot of emails. But here's the thing. It wasn't me being the sold out coach I've always imagined myself being. So this little subtle shift in 2 months' time took me from 0 people signing up on a free waitlist to a 36K plus launch. If I don't have you sat and ready, I don't know what else is going to get you there. And here's the best thing. You can literally end this podcast and get into your being energy, and things will start to change right now. Right now. It happens that fast because our energy is completely magnetic. I'm going to get a little woo here for a second, okay? In the quantum world, I'm talking like quantum mechanics, okay? In the quantum world, the future, if you can like think about selling out your program, if you envision that, if you see yourself leaving your job, if you see yourself being in the best shape of your life, if you see yourself speaking on a stage to 2,000 people, if you see yourself writing a book that changes people's lives, it's because a version of you in the quantum has it already. She is being her already. Okay? That's the really cool part here is that it's I hate even using the word become her because the version of you already has it. It has it. And I like thinking about tuning into that. I like using that word like tune in versus become, because when we simply think about tuning in, I don't know about you, I might date myself here for a second, but I still grew up in a generation where you could like tune in on the radio. And I guess you can still do that, but very few people actually use a radio. And so think about tuning into a station. Imagine you're like listening to your favorite, Kiss FM, right? And then you start like driving out to the country and it gets a little static. What you have to do is potentially like turn the dial just a little 0.1, 0.2, and then it starts coming in clear again, okay? That is the same thing. This version of you is a simple dial, simple frequency, and it's your job to be her first, okay? Then do from the be, okay? Then you have. That is how it works. I want to make my examples really clear for you because I think often when I say be her now or talking about like the be, do, have model, it feels really foreign. And it's like, that all sounds great, Caitlin, but I don't know that I really understand the concept. So I'm going to give you a few examples that really specifically pertain to the business owner so that you can like really understand what I mean by this. And here's the thing. I am like as human as they come. If you listen to this episode and you're like, I still don't understand this be, do, have, and I want to, please send me a DM. You can find me on Instagram at The Beam Life, and I would be happy to help you find the version that works for you. All right, let's talk about emails and social media first, okay? Because I think this is the one where most people get tripped up. You might be thinking, I only have 10 people on my email list. What's the point of sending weekly emails or nurturing my list? That's operating from the have, do, be. When we switch that, we send frequent emails as if you had thousands of subscribers. Because here's the thing. I know that if 10 people came knocking on your door right now and said, hey, I want to work with you, can I pay you? You would feel like overwhelmed and probably overexceed the financial goal you have for yourself this month. So please do not underestimate the value of 10 people. That is 10 people raising their hand saying, hey, we want more of what's in your world. The same thing goes for social media. When you are waiting, you're like, when I have 1,000 followers, I'll start doing this. When I have this many followers, I will start posting more. No one's listening. It's the opposite. You need to be the person that is showing up like the content creator that has 1 million+ subscribers and subscribers who are just like chomping at the bit to learn and for you to drop the newest thing. When we be from that energy and then we execute that really good content, that really good email, the have is inevitable. Here's another 2 examples, right? I hear this all the time. I'm going to wait until I have the fancy website or I have the client testimonials to raise, right, to the do part, to raise my prices. Not anymore. You are going to be the baddie, the just coach baddie, the business owning baddie that raises her prices, that charges from full body strength and being so excited to charge what you really want to charge before you have the fancy website, before you have the 5 testimonials. That is the difference. And here's the last 2 that come up a lot in my world. I am going to wait until I have someone ask me about my program to start selling. Or I'm going to wait until I have the perfect offer mapped out until I start the doing, right? The selling, the talking about it. No, honey. That sold out coach, that 10K a month coach, she ain't waiting. No. She is talking about her offer. She is inviting people into her world. She is acting as if she has a wait list already. Okay? This is the difference. It isn't an aesthetic thing. I know I talk a lot about like be her now energy, where I talk about like moving your body like the healthiest version of you or dressing like the sold out version of you. But if those things don't resonate with you, I want you to think about what are the things that highest frequency version of you in that quantum field is doing that you're not doing now, because that's the answer. That's the answer. That's the being. Here's why this works on a scientific level. When you start showing up consistently and being her consistently, what happens is your subconscious begins to get rewired. And here's why that happens. It's because you are telling your entire being that this is who you are right now. It's not this is who we're becoming. It's this is who I fucking am. And when you embrace like this is who I fucking am, you literally become unfuckwithable. It's truly, if I had to tell you one thing, like if you were like, okay, is there one secret answer to how I can have a 10K plus month, a sold out business, clients on a wait list. It is embodying this be, do, have energy. Okay? Because you're not waiting for evidence. You're not waiting for something to show up to make the decision for you. You are making the decision ahead of time. You are not waiting for permission because this is who you are now. So here's your homework, because you know I'm big on you actually leaving with something you can implement right away. We are not just wasting time over here, okay? I want you to pick one thing, that you have been waiting to do until you have more followers, more money, more proof that you need in order to execute, okay? I want you to think about, if you had that now, if that thing was right in front of you, how would you be? What would you be doing differently? I know it's not the same thing. Don't even lie, okay? Who you be when that thing is there, I want you to be that now. That is how things start to change. So that's your homework. Think of one thing that you are putting off because you're waiting for evidence to show you that it's possible. I don't want you to wait anymore. We're not waiting anymore. You are her right fucking now. I can't wait to hear how you implement one of my favorite frameworks. You can either call it Be Her Now or Be Do Have, whatever works for you. But if this episode lit you up and kind of motivated you to understand what's possible for you right here and now, please do me a favor and share this with another business baddie. I am so grateful for the extension of this community and for the new people that are constantly coming in, and I couldn't do it without you. So thank you so much for subscribing and for sharing and for tuning in every week. I'll see you next Wednesday.